Welcome to Health Coach for Women, a podcast where we explore alternative and holistic solutions to better health and wellness through intentional living. Now, here's your host, Marsha Roopchand-Walker.
Welcome back. It is good to be back. Thank you so much for joining me again on another episode of Health Coach for Women. I am your host, Marsha. Now, I've been off camera for several weeks now, but I'm back. We're in the new home, and I was sick and all of that good stuff and not so good stuff. All right. So today, what we're going to talk about, right? So how to balance work, school, and a side hustle without losing your mind. Okay, so I want to go ahead and talk about that today. But before we get started, hit that like button, share, and subscribe. And of course, I always have a quote for you. Balance is not something you find, it's something you create. And this is by Jana Kingsford. All right, so let's jump right in. So, how can we actually balance? How can we actually really try to balance work, just the everyday life, right? Work, going to school, being a parent, maybe even you having a side hustle or something that you do to make extra money, right? And how you do all of those things without actually losing it. Okay. So, hey, I've been there, right? And then these last few weeks, I've been on it. And I guess that's why I'm talking about this topic today, because that's where I'm at. That's where I've been and where I'm at. And I'm getting it together. Okay. So why is this topic so important? Because again, life happens, right? Life happens, things happen. We have to do the things that we need to do, whether it's keeping a job, full-time, part-time, whether it's going to school, managing, taking care of your business, taking care of your home, taking care of your family, doing all those things. It's a lot. It can be a lot, right? And you can experience burnout. You can experience burnout, even feeling depressed, feeling blah, and just and on top of that, weaken your immune system and get sick, right? When you got so much going on, because sometimes we could forget to do things. We're so busy on the go, hustle and bustle. These things can happen. But we got to get back. We got to get back. We got to get back to ourselves. We got to get back to managing life and dealing with life and its adversity, right? And so what can you expect to gain from this episode? You're going to gain strategies that will not only help you prioritize your life, but reduce that stress and prevent burnout. All right. So here we go. I have my notes, guys, so don't mind me. So the reality of working while studying, going to school, you can experience those struggles like exhaustion and lack of focus and feeling overwhelmed, right? So it's important to notice that. It's important to notice these personal priorities, these personal struggles that you may be encountering, and you got to know what matters most, right? What matters most to you? Is it work? Is it school? Is it extra income? Is it self-care? What is it? You have to be able to assess your overwhelm, right? When you're overloading yourself. And so how can we do that? How do you know when you're experiencing burnout? How do you know when you're experiencing burnout? Well, one of the things is lack of focus, right? You maybe experience lack of focus, losing sleep, right? Losing sleep, feeling depressed, or even feeling anxious about the things that's to come. Maybe it's an exam at school. Maybe it's something at work, right? Because you may not be doing all of these things, but you may be doing one, two, or all of these things, right? So we got to make sure that we are prioritizing our time, we're doing our time management strategies. right? We have to prioritize and plan effectively. So how can we prioritize and plan effectively? You can use a planner, right? You have digital planners. I actually have a digital planner that I created on my Etsy store. You can use a digital planner, whatever it is, whatever planner that you, some tool or resource that can help you, right? Schedule your work shifts, class time, and dedicate your study periods. Make sure that you're time blocking, and time block your days in a way that works to your specific hours, right? For school and studying and things of that nature. Set clear priorities, right? Set clear priorities and identify non-negotiables. What are some non-negotiables? Is it work in school? And whatever it is, adjust your side income if that is your pursuit, adjust it accordingly, right? So if you're in school, you may be able to get in some extra time to work overtime. But then what we have to figure out, what are we sacrificing? What are we losing, right? You may be able to get in an extra 8 hours a week. That might be realistic for you. You may not be able to do more than that if you're going to work in school. You may not be able to do that. Remember, you don't want to burn yourself out, right? You don't want to burn yourself out. And I'll use myself as an example. Hey, just moving here into the new home, there's a lot going on. We still have some things that we got to put together, put pieces together. Furniture pieces is coming and things of that nature, right? Still work to be done. Meanwhile, as I'm still doing my thing, right, which is still working, right? I still choose to work at this time because it's what I need to do and it's what I have to do, right? For a term appointed, right? While I build, I didn't reveal my secret yet on what I'm doing, right? But that's going to come. I don't want to reveal it just yet. While I build the other thing that I'm building, I don't want to give it away just yet, right? And also in school. Yes, I enrolled in school, guys. Okay. I enrolled in school. And so I'm in school and I was second guessing myself. I'm like, man, was this the right time? I got a lot going on, you know? I'm like, but if not now, when? When am I going to keep delaying and procrastinating, right? Because we don't want to keep delaying and procrastinating because what I'm doing, me going to school, is going to be beneficial to my business, right? And so it's what has to be done. It's what needs to be done. But I'm pacing myself. I'm not condensing courses, trying to crash and do an 8-week course. Hey, if I got to stretch it out to 14 weeks, then so be it. Okay. So I use myself as that example. Now, we got, again, setting those priorities, setting those non-negotiables, using your dead time to maximize, right? Use your dead time to maximize. So things as lunch breaks, right? Or commute time. Maybe you could listen to a lecture. Like if you're in school, maybe you could listen to a recorded lecture on your way to school or on your way to school or work, right? You may want to listen to those lectures. Okay, these are just some examples. But now let me see. Here we go. Wait, I want to look at my notes. I want to make sure I'm covering everything. Okay, so I talked about time blocking, right? And allocating those specific hours, setting clear priorities, right? As well as boundaries, and using that dead time to maximize your time for using those lunch breaks. Maybe you can get a little time in to review something really quick or listen to something. If you have a 30-minute break, you can review in 30 minutes. Or maybe if you got an hour break, you can have your lunch and review the other 30 minutes, right? So it's just knowing what works best for you, right? Batching your task and automation, making sure that you dedicate certain days for studying instead of spreading it thin over multiple days. That way you can reduce the overwhelm by grouping similar tasks together. So how can you optimize your study time, right? Leverage active. You can optimize your study time again by using those dead times that I already mentioned, right? Such as lunch breaks, right? And your commute to work. Some people have a long commute to work, right? 45 minutes to an hour. That's the perfect time to either listen to things that you need clarity on, right? Whether it's something that you have to listen to, maybe it's something for work, whatever it is, like using, but we want to make sure that we're not going to meditate on our way to work, right? We're not going to do that. That's a no-no. We can't do that. But we can listen to a lecture. We can listen to whatever it is that maybe it's something that you're trying to learn new. Maybe you can listen to an audible book, something like that. Right. And making sure that you're able to focus, so you don't drift off. Right. And if you have a problem with that, then don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. Safety first.
If you are struggling with health issues like chronic pain, being held back by past traumas, or feeling overwhelmed and hopeless, please know there is hope. There is help. Transcendence, a woman's guide to healing and self-love for better health, happiness, and abundance, is a blueprint to help you get your life back and reclaim your health. Within its pages, you'll learn how to elevate your existence by shifting your mindset toward the positive, focusing your energy on what's really important, using gratitude to feel deep appreciation, changing your gene expression through epigenetics, building resilience, and living in a state of flow, feeling love overflow within. Go beyond an ordinary life. Transcend. Buy it now.
Now, we got to make sure we're doing things like we can leverage our learning techniques, right? If you are in school, using flashcards, summaries, and recorded lectures, like I already mentioned, for quicker comprehension, for faster learning, right? And recap. Let's move on now to the side hustle. If you're going to choose a side hustle, you want to choose something that is definitely flexible and that fits your schedule without overwhelming yourself. If you are already overwhelmed and have a lot going on, maybe a side hustle may not be it for you right now, and that's okay. Okay, your side hustle may not be it for you right now, but if you have room and you're able to have this side hustle, right? You want to pick something that, again, fits your schedule and is not overwhelming and does not demand a lot of your time. So there are several things that can do that for you, such as maybe selling digital products on Etsy or other platforms, right? Maybe you could freelance writing or consulting, virtual assisting, tutoring, okay? Online tutoring. Maybe you're good at affiliate marketing and content creation, okay? Maybe you don't want to do any of these, right? But if you do, you want to pick something that's flexible and low stress, right? And freelancing digital products, selling on Etsy, these type of businesses can bring passive income streams, okay? And so, if, like I said, if none of these work for you, maybe at work right now, maybe you could pick up a few hours at work, right? Maybe depending on what you do, you can get maybe another little part-time job. Just depends. You have to know what you can handle. If you're already in a point where you can't handle what you got going on right now, then you may need to put everything else on pause at the moment. We know that people are going to school and they have to work, right? They have to work. because you got to pay your bills, right? You have to pay your bills. So you do what you can. And if it's not feasible for you at the moment to pick up a side hustle or to pick up extra hours at work, that's okay. That's okay. But for those of you who are currently doing these things, we need to manage our time effectively and efficiently, right? And what are some ways that we could avoid burnout, right? What are some ways that we could avoid burnout? I already mentioned some signs of burnout: lack of focus, not wanting to do the work, feeling down and depressed or even anxious, right? Losing sleep, all of these things. We got to make sure that we're practicing our self-care by prioritizing sleep, getting some type of movement, and having some downtime for ourselves, right? Having some downtime for ourselves. It's important. But we can stay motivated. We can stay motivated. How? By celebrating our small victories, our small wins, right? And we can celebrate also, even at times when we may feel down, anxious, but not wanting to do the work. That's why it's important to journal, right? Journal when you're feeling down or overwhelmed can help you gain clarity. Or when you need clarity, it can help you, and it'll help you release those negative emotions or emotions that you are holding in that you're not sharing, right? You want to have an accountability partner, right? Maybe there's another student. You should be connecting with other people. Maybe there's another student in your class that you could connect with as far as having a study group, other peers, maybe people at work, and have some type of reward system, right? Or if not even that, just have some words of encouragement. That helps too. So we can maximize efficiency and burnout and avoid burnout by using automation and batching, right? We can pre-plan our meals, right? We can automate our listings, right? Our social media content, right? We can automate those things. Maybe you may have a VA, a virtual assistant that can help you do some of the things that you need to do, right? I'm remembering to set boundaries and avoiding distraction and prioritizing, avoiding distractions such as media scrolling. And sometimes it's hard to do that because maybe you're on to maybe to schedule something and post something, you can see things that'll distract you. So we just got to stay focused on the non-essential commitments. Let's stay focused. Take intentional breaks, right? Take these intentional breaks that will help you recharge to prevent burnout. I'm always one to say, take your break, take your break, take your break. Quality over quantity matters. It's important. Remember to keep adjusting and tracking your progress, right? So you could do your check-ins weekly, review what's working, and adjust your schedule accordingly, right? Adjust your schedule accordingly. You may try something that you find out that maybe too much time is being spent here and not enough time here. When you create these schedules in your planner or whatever, and when you build your task, right, your daily task, your weekly task, whatever it is, it's not set in stone. It's not set in stone. It can be adjusted if need be to accommodate your needs, right? To accommodate your needs and what you're trying to do. Set micro goals. Again, aim for those small wins, right? So maybe if you just earn an extra $50 a week before scaling up, woohoo, celebrate that, right? Maybe, you're able to make that. Maybe you're working part-time and you just picked up maybe another shift, maybe just another 4-hour shift, maybe twice a week, a total of 8 hours. If that's however you have to do it to make it work, do what you need to do, right? Do what you need to do. Again, this may not be the case for everyone. Some people may just have their one job, don't go to school, don't have a side hustle, and still can be experiencing some type of burnout. Why? Because just maybe stress at work, right? Most people experience more stress at work than any place else. Work-related stress, right? Not enough staff, right? People calling off. You're doing the work of 2 people now. It's frustrating. It can be frustrating and it can get to you. We have to make sure that that's why prioritizing self-care is important. That's why making sure that you are eating healthy, right? Eating healthy, taking time to have the downtime for yourself, taking time to make sure that you put yourself first is important. It's very important. Why? Because we know at these moments, when you're feeling stressed and you're feeling overworked and burnt out, what happens? Stress can cause what? Weaken the immune system, right? And we don't want that. So, listen, out of all of these tips that I mentioned here, try at least one of them, right? Try at least one of them and see what works for you. There is no one size fit all, right? Everything should be tailored to the individual. All right. Everything should be tailored to the individual. All right. And listen, try one, if not more, of these. Even if you did simple meal prepping, right? Preparing your meals ahead of time, right? Setting your weekly menu for the week of what you're going to make and prepare for the week. Maybe on the weekend or on your days off, you can set aside time to prepare. What I do is I iron my husband's uniform. Yes, I iron my husband's uniform for work. Okay. And I didn't feel like doing all 5 in one day. I did 3 uniforms one day, right? On Saturday, and on Sunday, I did the other 2, right? And I'm done. So, we have to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves. We have to make sure that we can do things in life without the burnout. Yes, there are going to be periods of stress and periods of maybe even feeling overwhelmed and burnt out. But that's when we have to get back and pause, right? Pause and reflect and strategize and create a new plan of what we need to do to make things better for ourselves. And what we do better for ourselves benefit others, right? So that is what I wanted to cover today. I wanted to cover that because I think it's very important. And right now, I'm sitting in my living room, my computer desk. I'm still in the struggle myself, right? My office is not put together yet. The desk has not been put together. I asked my husband to do it. And so whenever he get a chance to do it, I saw all those screws and I said, no way. I thought it was a simple fix. I could put the computer chair together, no problem. I saw the computer desk and it was like 1,000,000 screws. And I said, no way. So I'm hoping to have that up soon so I can be in my office. Some things still need to be set up. We're still setting up around the house. So I apologize. That's it. That's all I have for you for now. Listen, stay healthy, stay well, prioritize, set those boundaries, right? Don't be afraid to say no. If you're going to choose getting a side hustle, choose something flexible, right? You may not see the rewards right away. You may or may not. Depends, right? Me, I'm patient, right? I'm patient. I patiently persevere and I'm okay with it. Okay. So listen, guys, until next time, bye for now. Stay safe, stay well.
Thanks so much for tuning in to this episode of Health Coach for Women with Marsha Roopchand-Walker. If you've enjoyed this episode, please feel free to rate, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. That helps others find the show, and we greatly appreciate it. Once again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next episode.